Hey everybody, my name is Kyle. For those of you who are new to this channel, welcome. Thanks for subscribing or watching. Um, so this week, or I guess this week, I just finished making my ambiguity video, and if you don't follow that channel, you should. I will put a link in the description below, but that's why I said this week on whatever. But, point being, I'm going to talk about mental health updates. So, it is that time of year where my life gets crazy. Most of you know that I'm a musician, and so around November, December, life picks up a bit. I'm also a church musician, so we have the big Christmas programs, and I live in the South, which means that we overdo everything. And that has to do with church. So, in a few weeks, I am conducting this giant production that involves a huge choir and then an orchestra, and I'm flying in a professional handbell choir, and the kids choir is singing, and about 1,000 people attend, and so it's gonna be a big to-do, and there's a lot of crap that goes into that. Also then, right now at school, I go to school full-time, and so all of the ensembles that I'm in are having concerts coming up very soon. And I also am in a semi-professional choir outside of school and work, and they have a concert coming up soon. And so it's just one thing after another, after another, after another, on top of my already slightly insane schedule. So there's that. But so we come to the time of year, and about every year, I have a breakdown, just life gets a little overwhelming, and I've let myself get just enough behind that it freaks me out, and I feel like I'm drowning. And so a mental breakdown this time of year is not abnormal, and I preface this because I don't want people to think that because I'm trans, I'm having mental breakdowns, because that's not what this is. Also, it's not because I'm on testosterone. It is literally because this time of year is crazy for my life and always has been, and so I usually have a freak out and then I get my crap together. So the way that my mental breakdowns normally go, I cry really irrationally. I mean, it could be over the smallest things. So I have a bit of OCD. And I really like to count change. I don't really keep it in my house anymore because it became like a habit that I had to do all the time. Like if there's change in the house and it's in a bucket, and I haven't real specific about my change bucket, but that's besides the point. Anyways, in high school, I would count my change every single night. And I would lay it out on my bed, and I'd separate it into quarters, and I'd separate it into dimes, and I'd separate it into nickels and pennies. And then I would stack them in dollars. And the pennies I would just pile in dollars. But everything else I'd stack, and it had to be in neat lines. And I know that y'all are thinking I'm a freak right now, but that's okay. Like, this is very specific that I had to do. And they'd all be in neat lines, and the quarters would be all lined up. I'm like lining them up in front of me, but they're not like there. Anyways, they'd like be lined up, and they either had to be like specifically like one in front of the other, like in each line, or they had to be like directly like opposite, like alternating in line. It was insane. Anyways, so that just depended on the day whether I lined them up crooked or not. But so there was one day where I was exhausted. I had gotten like 3 hours of sleep that week because, again, all of every ensemble I was in was having concerts and having dress rehearsals and having like everything ever extra, and then midterms and all this other crap was happening all at the same time. And so I was pulling like 15, 16-hour days, plus then I'd have to do homework, plus then I'd sleep and wake up and repeat. And and we had competitions every weekend. So I didn't get like a day off. So I was counting my change and I was just bawling, just having a mental breakdown. And my mom came in, and again, this was when I was in high school. And I remember like my chest hurt because I was crying so hard, and my mom came in and like I was about to count my change. And she told me that I couldn't count my change, which then caused me to have an even worse mental breakdown. And she told me that I just needed to go to bed. And I told her that life was too hard, like it was ridiculous. And so she finally like took the change away from me and put it away, and then like made me go to sleep. And I haven't had a like that intense of a feeling of a mental breakdown since then, and that was like 10 years ago, a long time. Well, this past weekend, I had a pretty intense mental breakdown, and I felt all the feelings coming on. And so I was sort of prepared for it. But usually when I have a mental breakdown, I cry, I get over it, I sleep. The next day I wake up, and I'm like refreshed. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to not ever feel like that again. And so then I get my crap together, and I do a whole day worth of work, and I just get it all done and get all caught up, and I make a long list and I check it all off, and we're done. Well, Friday night I had a mental breakdown. The weird thing about it is that it didn't feel the same. I cried, and then I got mad. And that's not abnormal. I mean, I've had mental breakdowns like that. But normally like the crying outweighs the feeling of needing to hit something. But that was not the case this time. I cried, but I had to hit something. And so I bashed my hand on the counter. And I ended up bruising the middle of my hand, which is gone now. It was just very faint, and it was right there. And I just hit it a few times, and I was just mad. It was like open palm, like I'm just so frustrated, and I just needed to like hit the counter. And then I cried some more, like the really hard tears where your whole body shakes and you're just like screech crying at that point in time. And then I went to bed. And then the next day I woke up and I couldn't get out of bed. I was still so exhausted. And I didn't feel that like refreshed sense. So then I was like, well, maybe like I didn't have a complete mental breakdown. I don't know. And so then that night again, like the next night, I had like a very minute, like probably 2 minutes worth of like freak out cry. And then I went to bed. And then the next day I woke up feeling like back to normal. But I didn't feel like, let's get all my crap done. I didn't have that like motivation that I was looking for from that mental breakdown. So I have no idea if that's because of the tea or if that happened to be like that I interrupted my mental breakdown and then I screwed my whole life up or what. But I do know that the overwhelming feeling that I had was that I had to like hit the counter. And granted, it wasn't like insane. It was just like I was just so frustrated. I was so over it, and like literally that's what I did, onto the counter. And so that feeling outweighed me needing to sob uncontrollably. And but like once I did that a couple of times, then I was over it. Then I needed to cry and go to bed. But yeah, so it was just weird. I just thought that I'd share that. I know that I try not to share my bad crap all over the internet, but you know, crap happens, and it is what it is. I am slowly working my way to not drown under all the crap that I have to do, but it's taking a bit longer than it normally would have, and so that's a bit frustrating, but at the same time, like, it's just something I have to learn how to deal with, and that's just gonna be a learning curve, I guess. Or maybe it'll just be like a one-time fluke thing, and that just happened once. So I really don't know, but I thought that I would share that experience. Sorry if this was super long and boring, but yeah, that's what it is. I love all the questions that you guys are leaving on the other video. If you are new and only watching this video, I'm asking for questions. It can be about anything. It can be about my life. It can be about transition. It can be about, I don't care, whatever. It doesn't matter. And I will answer them. I am not bashful. I am not shy. If you want to know about lower stuff, I will tell you what's probably going to happen. And I apologize. This is so long. I apparently am making long videos today. I don't know. But I'm gonna probably make like a question and answer video that has nothing to do with bottom stuff, and then I'm gonna make a separate video that is question and answer bottom related, because there are a lot of questions about that, and I want to be as thorough as possible with that because I know there is less information on YouTube about that kind of stuff. So anyways, like, subscribe, recommend people to this channel. I try to be as thorough as possible, and sometimes overly thorough at 11 minutes and 32 seconds. So, alright, I'm going to cut it off here, and I will talk to you soon. Alright, love you, bye.